Ernest himself actually created the very first regular publication to be created completely on Antarctica. It was called the Polar Times. It's essentially just like a monthly magazine. It was only a couple pages long in all reality. We can find pictures of it out there. He made like a monthly magazine, the Polar Times, and passed it out to the crew. In his mind, that helped keep people in good spirits, on these long journeys, or all the time, the cold, the misery. Here's a magazine, right? And he also allowed the crew members to write little articles that they would put in it, which added a sense of community.
Yeah.
Yep. He also performed the world's first hot air balloon flight on Antarctica.
Oh, hell yeah. That's cool as fuck.
Mm-hmm. More or less, that bitch went up and crashed.
Yeah.
And Ernest was just a little injured, but he was fine.
It was like, God. Did you see in the magazine how Ernest crashed that hot air balloon? There's a whole spread about it. It took 2 pages. Oh, shit.
I didn't even think about that. That had to have been in there.
Oh,
that just had to have been.
That's
How
front
would
page
somebody not
news.
write that
That's
down?
front page news in the Polar Times. Crew accounts. What an idiot. Can't fly that thing in this cold place.
Did you not hear? The wind is 200 miles an hour.
Oh, shit.
Okay. So there's cool stuff that I'm absolutely blazing through, including Ernest climbing a mountain while he's there. But dude, they named everything. They are just cruising around down there naming shit. You see that mountain? Named. You see this channel? Named. That gulf? Named. We got out of this adventure in this time frame right here, we got King Edward VII Land. We got the Polar Plateau, Cape Crozier, Mount Discovery, named after the ship.
Oh, yeah.
The Farrar Glacier, and the Scott Glacier, named after Robert Falcon Scott.
Oh.
Now, here we are. It's late November 1902, and it's time to make the big journey. They're going for the pole.
Hell yeah.
So a lot of work and a lot of prep goes into this. Like basically everything else they were doing stopped for a month in preparation to make the big trip. It was ultimately decided that 3 men would make the trip. That's going to be Robert Falcon Scott himself, Ernest Shackleton, and Edward Wilson. They're going for the glory of the Queen. They're going to load up sleds and sled dogs, and they're going for the South Pole.
For God, King, and Country.
For God, King, and Country. So they walk and they sled for nearly a month straight.
Fuck. Jesus Christ.
The 3 men and the dogs in the cold. Another point where so much happens. Ernest almost falls off a cliff. Another dude slides down a glacier. I mean, dude, it's Antarctica. It's wild,
Yeah.
They traveled almost 500 miles straight, walking. On December 30th of 1902, they kind of have the moment of, we're not there yet. We don't have enough food and supplies to make it there and back. More or less, the idea is we could go and we could make it, but then we die. So probably best we turn back here.
Mm-hmm.
The estimates, this is all written record keeping, of course, from back then. So give or take anything I say, please. The estimates is that they were probably about 400 miles away from the pole.
Damn. That's still so far.
Yeah.
God damn.
It's so far. So they spent another month. They do a 180 and march on back. They all 3 survived. Ernest actually had a cough and some shortness of breath or maybe chest pain going on at the time. And that was another bit of the reason they decided to turn around. There's some drama that occurs here between Captain Scott and Ernest. The captain thought that maybe Ernest had some sort of lung condition before he ever joined the expedition that he never told anybody about. So that's like a big no-no. You risked our big trip. And Scott kind of blamed it on Scott. Scott kind of blamed it on Shackleton.
Ernest, yeah.
No, if he'd have been in better health, we would have made better pace. We would have made it.
Yeah. You're 400 miles away. What the fuck are you talking about? You weren't even close. I bet it had something to do with that fucking polar. Like, he never puts me in the Polar Times.
He never put me on the front page.
Yeah.
I'm the captain.
Well, he's like... Yeah. Fucking Captain Falcon is like, it's Captain Falcon. I didn't realize. Captain Falcon's showing up all the time, and he's like, dude, I got this cool article. And Ernest was like, yeah, I'll take a look at it. And places it in the pile of like Captain Falcon articles that are just, I don't have the heart to tell him. He's just dog shit. These articles are written like a 4-year-old, unreadable.
I mean, to be fair, Scott was writing them all in like penguin blood, which kind of weird.
Not cool, dude. Not cool.
Not cool, dude. Not cool. Okay. They make it back. They're safe and sound. Captain Scott and Ernest are not getting along. They're having little bickers. So Captain Scott says, "Fuck you, dude. You're going home." There was a scheduled supply ship set to come some number of months after this point to supply them up and load them up so they can continue doing more science. And the captain said, "Ernest, you're going to hop on that ship. You're out of here."
Damn.
Yeah. I mean, this was really crushing for Ernest. He didn't make it to the pole, which was one of his goals. Got sent home early. Got blamed. Whole bunch of stuff.
Didn't get to write the Polar Weekly anymore. Polar Monthly.
He never got to write the final issue.
Douchebag captain sending Polar Monthly man home. Front page.
Dude, I would write multiple articles like, Bob, next month, here's the front page. Next month, here's the front page. Like, and all of them are, Captain Scott's a dick.
Just put Captain Falcon, just big old, like... he's got like the shitty mustache and like the monocle and the devil horns coming out, like clearly drawn onto a picture of him. Just like a big sign, asshole, pointing down at him.
Yep. No, as you're gonna see here in a moment, Ernest did kind of understand, like, even though I'm being sent home right now, I still got a future here, so I got to bite my tongue a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Ernest would go on and he would make a not a damning statement, but he would kind of infer that his health wasn't really the factor that Scott made it out to be, and that there was more personal conflict that caused Shackleton to be sent home. He kind of threw it just a little bit back on Scott, saying, if you'd have planned better, we wouldn't have run out of food, that type of thing. Regardless, he didn't have a say in the matter. He was not in charge, so he goes back to London. But he marries Emily in 1904. His plan worked, dude. All you gotta do is go to Antarctica for a while, come back. Girlfriend's dad, love ya.
Hell yeah. Mm-hmm. Now I know.
Ernest was smart. He was crafty at times. He goes back. He's sent home early from work, right? And he uses that time to start what ends up being kind of like his most lucrative side hustle. Like, outside of freezing on ships in the cold and ice, he finds out he's a pretty good public speaker. And he's got good stories to tell. He's an interesting guy. And he's pretty charismatic. He's fairly handsome by those times standards. So he starts giving these lectures and speeches. And he just starts building kind of a network while he's doing that. He's meeting more people, like the Royal British Explorers Society. That's a pretty big thing. You want to impress them if you want to go on another expedition. And he sort of controlled the narrative, if you think about it, because Scott is still down in Antarctica for another 8 months.
He got home first.
Yeah, and Shackleton's back, and Shackleton's like, well, I did pretty good, and despite what you might hear later, I wasn't sick at all.
That fucking Captain Falcon guy's a real dickhead. He's making posters and putting them all over town and shit. Oh, God. Rule the day! When he stepped on Ernest's name as an explorer.
Never again. So he's giving speeches. He's having a good time. He married, believe their first child was born during this time frame.
Nice.
And his status is just sort of elevated more and more as he's going around giving speeches. So much so that he would be named captain of the next great British Antarctic expedition in 1906.
Damn.
He's the captain. Yeah. He's in charge now.
I am the captain
from
now.
Top to bottom. That's right. He looked at Captain Falcon.
Dude,
I'm the captain now.
I am the captain now. So by this point, has Captain Falcon come back, or is he still down in Antarctica, just fucking around?
By 1906, he's back. Yeah, he's back by then.
Okay.
He returned and he was safe. I'm pretty sure he goes on to do another expedition or two.
Okay.
He goes on to do something. The next great British Antarctic expedition would come to be known as the Nimrod expedition. You heard me, right?
Not nearly as
Nimrod.
cool.
Nimrod, Silas.
Yeah.
This is a really goofy side note, but when I read that, I was like, why? Why would they call it Nimrod, right? So this is a fun fact, dude. I really think it's fun. Prior to 1948, the word Nimrod was a biblical term. Don't quote me on the Bible, right? But from what I read, from what I understand, it's a biblical term, and it referred to a great hunter called Nimrod.
Cool.
In 1948, in an episode of the Looney Tunes, Bugs Bunny calls Elmer Fudd a poor little Nimrod. The younger generation, the children, and they would grow up to be, when they heard that at the time, they didn't know Nimrod was a biblical term. So they took it to mean, like he's like a little goofball or something, right? That's what I've always known the word
dingus
to mean.
Yeah,
dipshit, something like that, basically. So here we are in 1906. We're we're prepping the Nimrod, baby. Come on, that's kind of cool.
Okay.
The Nimrod expedition, under the leadership of Shackleton, would almost be a complete success. Just almost completely a success, top to bottom. They essentially had the same goals as the previous expedition. We're going to do science. We're going to name shit. We're hitting the South Pole this time.
Yep.
And they're planting that flag.
Plant the
flag,
baby.
This time.
Mm-hmm.
He fails again.
Fuck.
There's a lot to be said about the planning, the food, the dogs, the crew, the training, whatever, what have you. This time, they fall about 100 miles short.
Oh, killer.
Yeah.
Is it the same sort of thing where
same exact thing. We could make it, but then we die.
Yeah.
We have to turn around.
Fuck.
I did want to take a moment here to shout out, the whole inspiration for this, or a lot of this info and a lot of this inspiration for this episode came from a podcast called The Explorers Podcast, hosted by Matt Breen. He has an 11-part series on Ernest Shackleton, which is absolutely killer. I mean, dude, he goes through every detail of all the expeditions, from their planning, who's paying for it, the bullshit Shackleton was spinning to get the funding, the ways he didn't pay shit back later on. Oh, there's so much. And I just wanted to shout that out. The Explorers Podcast. If anybody takes an interest in this story and you want way more details than I'm able to give you, check that out.
Throw some links down in the description of stuff.
Yes, we should. But ultimately, like I said, that expedition was pretty much the same. They named things. They made another run. They were 100 miles short. They left to go on the Nimrod expedition in 1907. They just barely failed to get to the South Pole near the end of 1908. Not quite the end. And Ernest was back home with his wife by June of 1909. That was a pretty quick in and out 2-year adventure, right? Not bad.
Is she cool with all this? Is she like, fuck it, why not?
She didn't have a say in the matter.
Oh.
She didn't have a say in the matter. Like, straight up, that was the thing. She would be like, please stay home. I love you. I miss you. And he's like, okay, baby, I'll stay home. Yeah. Every time he comes home, it's just like a ticking time bomb. Dude, he can't. He's got to go back. It's warm in London, and the man prefers the cold, the dark, and some tasty penguin meat.
Yum. Okay, all
right. He gets knighted by King Edward VII in July of 1909, a month after returning on his second failed attempt at the pole. King Edward said, "My guy, you're out there spreading the word of Britain. You're Sir Edward or Ernest Shackleton now."
Did Captain Falcon get knighted at all?
I believe he was knighted as well later on.
All right. Well, who got knighted first?
Oh, that's a good one.
It's like he released like special edition.
Robert Scott never got knighted.
Oh my god, dude! He definitely made a Polar monthly on the, like, fucking front page. Captain Falcon not knighted. Suck it. Title, suck it. Oh god. Ernest Shackleton than a big, like, the better than sign. Captain Shit Falcon.
Greater than.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
So he's back home for the second time. He pops out another kid. He gets knighted. He's giving speeches, making decent money, not insane.
Yeah.
So, Silas, give me a prediction what you think happens next.
I have been dialed in to this drama.
Communication is alpha.